Hello everybody, this is Purge, bringing you guys another match from the Gamecom Plantronics Dota 2 tournament. I can give you guys some info about this. This has been a tournament that's been going on for the last couple weeks, hosted by Gamecom Plantronics, or Plantronics Gamecom, sorry, the other way around. It was a Dota 2 tournament, partially to advertise their new headsets that came out. If you guys want to check those out, go to gamecom.plantronics.com. Gamecom.plantronics.com. A little confusing, /Dota2 if you guys want to check that out. We are in the winner bracket final right here. I'm doing a bunch of replay casts, and Dark Falco Stack versus Team Dignitas are the two teams that actually made it all the way here. So we'll talk about the picks and bans in just a little second. But for now, a little bit of overview. There's a total of 5,500 in total event pricing, includes some of the headsets that they are giving away to the fourth place match, as well as some of the additional open bracket pricing. Just so you guys know, I have been informed that the open bracket pricing, as in the random teams being awarded headsets, have already been emailed. So if you guys did not get an email, you unfortunately are not one of the winners, and I'm so sorry. But first place is playing for a total of $2,000, second place $1,000, and third place $500. That means that either Dignitas or Dark Falco are guaranteed a top 3 placement. Whichever team loses here will go into the losers bracket final, where they will play Gratz, though, who is also guaranteed top 3. So at least $500 total going to one of these teams. Fourth place actually grabbing 5 of the Gamecom 780 headsets. Very nice prize for them as well, just below third place prizing there, actually. And keep in mind, those headsets do come with the in-game Dota 2 Battle Fury Faces Void cosmetics. So super sweet headsets. I have some in person here. I just did a video review of those if you guys want to check them out. And I think that's about it. I don't think I needed to give any more overview about the tournament, but thanks everybody for tuning in, and let's get this started. So if we take a look here, Dark Falco Stack is going to be playing on the Dire team here, Dignitas on the Radiant. The first round ban's pretty standard for some of the for metagame at the moment. Magnus is still making some first round bans from Dark Falco. Lone Druid they feel is a priority. Some teams do value the Lone Druid ban, and other teams not so much. And Dignitas opting for the Nyx Assassin, completely expected. That is one hero that is almost entirely banned in the first round right now. And Lifestealer, another tier 1 carry at the moment, argued to be the most popular carry. Nyx Assassin, Luna, and also Gyrocopter. Mostly Gyrocopter as well as Nyx Assassin, or Lifestealer, both very popular. And as you guys can see, there's a Gyrocopter ban in the second round. Now Dignitas prioritized with a Batrider first pick. That's another hero that does sometimes get banned in the first round. And to respond to this, Dark Falco actually went for a Darkseer and a Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon, the most popular support right now, other than Wisp. And Darkseer is still a very, very good long lane hero, and of course, awesome in team fights. Though, I feel like teams are getting a little bit better at combating versus the hero. We see a lot more things like Clink's picks just to counter the hero in lane, or they just grab a really nice ranged hero that can very safely solo against Darkseer. But regardless, still very strong hero. Vacuum Wall is always going to be powerful. He does sometimes have some lackings in the early game before he gets a lot of vacuum levels, but regardless, still a great hero. Wisp Chaos Knight is actually what Dignitas is going to go for, and I actually haven't seen a Dignitas game in quite a while, but that combo is used very much so all over the place. Especially the EU scene. A team that does like drafting that a lot is Empire. Empire, arguably the best EU team, or at least non-Chinese team at the moment. And the Wisp Chaos Knight dual lane is just so absolutely scary, and it can even fit into tri lanes as well if you do have enough mana to support that. So the nicest thing about that combo is that you get the immediate stun from using Reality Rift. Of course, Reality Rift into the Tether stun, and then you follow that up with a Chaos Bolt. So it's just, we're talking about at least 1.5 to 3 seconds of solid stun on your target, with a lot of right clicking and damage on top of that. And once that does well in your lane, from there you can use Relocate to gank other lanes, take out important heroes like carries or mids, and just generally get a lot of dominance out of the game. So Dignitas is going for that strat. They're also going to have a Chen, so it's looking like it's going to be a Wisp Chaos Knight safe lane with a Chen in the jungle, most likely a Batrider mid, and then they will have a long lane hero. Now they can also do an aggressive tri lane if they so wish to do so, but I think it's a little bit more expected that they'll just do Wisp Chaos Knight safe with Chen ganking. That's my expectation at least. So it could be a aggressive tri lane, though. With that Shadow Demon play, I think they might be a little hesitant to do that, because anybody that gets jumped on, Shadow Demon will just disrupt them, assuming he's not the guy that gets jumped on, and that should keep them pretty safe here. So, last second round bans, we have Undyne, we have a Luna, and then we have a Keeper of the Light, Bounty Hunter, and a Beastmaster as well. So we should be good to go. I'm just going to handle things in chat a little bit here. People doing some spoilers and stuff. That is no good. Don't do that, guys. I'm going to ban you. Alright, problem solved. Thank you. All right, back to the Dark Falco stack here. We have about a minute left over for Dark Falco. Excuse me. They have a mid hero, they have a support, and they have a long lane. So that means there's a carry. Carry is going to be their choice. It's going to be a Faceless Void. Faceless Void, Shadow Demon. They are either going to want another support hero or they're going to want a jungler hero. That's their options. Darkseer, almost guaranteed, going to be the long lane. He's actually pretty good against Chaos Knight because Chaos Knight is melee range. So Iron Shell obviously is going to do pretty good damage to Chaos Knight, even when he goes to last hit. And that's very good. So Puck is going to be the last pick out of Team Dignitas here. Team Puck is one of the most popular mids at the moment, actually. Very common matchup. I was just speaking to a pro player today, and they said that Puck Queen of Pain is actually pretty common at the moment just because of the popularity of the heroes, and for the reason that Puck actually has received some pretty good buffs recently, and that actually puts him towards... I think it's going to be Puck mid. It might be Batrider long lane. I guess I'm not sure. Maybe it'll be Puck long lane. It could be that way as well. But Puck mid is actually quite powerful right now and very good against Queen of Pain, especially when you look at the fact that Queen of Pain is one of the few heroes that is a really easy escape from Batrider relatively. Assuming you don't have more than 4 stacks on you, you can blink away and usually get out of the napalm range or the dive range. Puck, in exchange, though, actually has a lot of nuke potential, and also he has a Silence, and Silence is very good against Queen of Pain, so if a Puck is played well, you can definitely outlane the Queen of Pain. It's actually a very even matchup in a lot of ways, whereas Batrider versus Queen of Pain just would mostly revolve around Batrider farming, and Queen of Pain just trying to harass if possible, but generally playing it safe, so... I think there's a decent chance Dignitas will put Batrider long lane because I think Puck has a better chance of taking out the Queen of Pain, but it really could go both ways. It just really comes down to how the team ends up laning it. Now, keep in mind we have had some recent roster changes on Dignitas, at least since some of their last major tournaments. Universe is actually playing on Dignitas now, which is a pretty awesome addition. He's arguably at the time was one of the arguably the best player that was unsigned, recently left EG, and now is on Dignitas, replacing Snake King, who didn't have enough time to play, unfortunately, since he is pretty young and still in school. So, Universe added to the lineup, and Dark Falco Stack's last pick is going to be an Enigma. So, I'm super excited to see how this team works out. A couple of the team, or the players, sorry, that I'm recognizing on the Dire team. We actually have FNC, very popular for popularizing the Nyx build, or, yeah, I'm sorry, the Lifestealer build, which is Phase Boots, Drum, I believe, with some other things. Hannah Montana, before this, was on Complexity. I made it to TI2. Dismech, I've heard of. Dark Falco, well known for the Dark Falco stack, and Mojo Storm Stout, which I recognize well. I have actually played against a couple of these players in matchmaking before, and I can tell you for a fact that they are very, very good. So, whereas we're looking at Dignitas here, AOI 2000 is me playing Chaos Knight. We have Tides of Time playing Wisp. Got Way Too Sexy is on the Chen. On the mid lane is going to be a Puck, so it's going to be Fogged playing Puck on the mid lane. And then we've got Universe playing long lane Batrider, so I did predict that correctly. For the Dire team, this is Team Dark Falco stack. We have FNC playing Faces Void, Dark Falco's on the Queen of Pain, Hannah Montana on the Darkseer, Mojo Storm Stout on the Enigma, and Dismech is playing the Shadow Demon. So I think this is actually a temporary team just for this tournament here. As far as I'm aware, Hannah Montana is currently playing on Fnatic North America. So I think this might have been just a temporary team, but regardless, still very good players, and pretty excited to see how they perform for the tournament. So, lanes are to be as predicted for the Radiant team. For the Dire team, I'm guessing an Enigma jungle, Faces Void, Shadow Demon, dual lane, long lane, Darkseer, and a mid Queen of Pain. So pretty predictable lanes for both teams, and not really going to be seeing any major advantage for anyone here. The Radiant team has relatively good pushing power, just for the fact that they do have a Chen. And on top of that, Chaos Knight Wisp is so scary that if anybody comes close to the creep wave, they're going to have some chance of dying. And that definitely goes for Darkseer. Despite the guy being Wisp hits about 3 and Chaos Knight hits 4 or so, he does have to worry about a lot of magic burst. And if he gets too close to the creep wave, he's going to get killed, and then they're going to take the tower immediately afterwards, and that is going to be pretty scary. Wow, big illusion pickup for Queen of Pain, though, and this should give him a pretty good last-hitting advantage on the mid lane, so Queen of Pain's going to be really happy with this, going for a fast bottle here. Fogged actually getting items pulled to him, both a Salve and a Tango, and he picked up a Null Talisman and 2 Ironwood branches to start off the mid lane, so he actually does have a last-hitting advantage over the Queen of Pain, but with this illusion rune up, she should be able to last hit better than him, since he's due about 33% damage, I believe. Which is a net increase of 60, so it's very, very good for early last hitting. It's very unfortunate for Fog to be up against this. Universe already getting some EXP actually in this lane. He doesn't have that much threat of dying, actually. 5 stacks on the FNC now. The reason he's not worried is because it's a Shadow Demon, and maybe this, despite Shadow Demon being a great pick, if you're worried about a long lane Batrider, he can actually hold these 2 back. Faces Void has very, very little contribution to an early duel or tri-lane, and that means that they have pretty much no chance of killing this Bat Rider with just Bash and Disruption. It's not going to happen, and this means that Universe is going to be able to get a huge advantage in this long lane compared to a hero like Darkseer, who's playing much more safe. As you can see, Hannah Montana not able to get any EXP yet, whereas the Shadow Demon is a little worried about the Void dying. And to make things even worse, there's no possible way Darkseer could solo kill a Chaos Knight unless AOI makes huge mistakes, whereas Bat Rider can definitely solo kill this Faceless Void if things get really sketchy. And this means that Shadow Demon actually might have to stay in lane and try to help Faceless Void to not get outlaned here or killed. Whereas the Wisp can just kind of pull it the whole time. And that's going to mean that Dignitas not only is getting this lane advantage from the Bat Rider, but also is getting a pull advantage from Wisp. And he's going to go contest the rune, but it's actually going to spawn top. So rune goes to Fogged here. He's about 50 gold, excuse me, away from a bottle. And he's actually going for a top gank here. He is going on Universe. The Enigma has came over with a level 2 Malefice, but luckily for him, he has been able to Firefly to the side. Fogged is maybe going to look into a kill. Dismech takes some damage, and there's the phase shift and back to the mid lane. I think he did shift because the dive came. But a nice play by Universe, just going to Firefly and run off the map. No way for them to get that kill at that point. And this is actually going to cost the Enigma a little bit, because he has put a second level into Malefice, so that means that his Eidolons will do slightly less damage, and they're going to have slightly less HP, which means his farming subsequently from this is going to be slower. He could have been farming camps this entire time instead of ganking, and since that gank failed, he will be slightly behind now. So back in the mid lane, Fog Dota has taken at least one dagger here. He does have 2 levels into the orb currently. Last hitting, where it looks like Dark Falco is at 11 and 3. He's actually out last hitting Fog here, despite the last hitting advantage. And he actually goes high ground. That was a pretty cool little motion there. He's going to be checking for the rune. Maybe he was a little bit worried about the Scream of Pain there, but he does go back up to the high ground. He's got to be a little careful here. He does dodge the dagger. Nice play from him, and he's going to be absolutely fine here. If he did eat a dagger there, that would have been a pretty big loss, but Dark Falco did not cancel that, and Fogged was able to dodge it with the phase shift. So nice play by him to get out of that. Otherwise, that would have been quite a bit of damage going on here. But Bottle's up 200 gold past that, and despite being at actually now a last-hitting advantage, he's doing quite well here. So it's going to harass a little bit. There's the orb that comes through. He does take the Scream of Pain. Falco's going to back off here, and we also see Mojo as well as Hannah Montana jungling. Hannah was still afraid of being within EXP range on the bot lane, understandably, so he's going to start off in the jungle and actually help Enigma farm up a little bit. So more like Enigma's helping Darkseer, to be honest, so he can tank up creeps and things like that. In the meantime, Universe has been pulling camps aside here, 4 stacks on the Dark Tour, and he should be able to steal the last hits of this, and he does snag that. So one really nice thing about Bat Rider there in the long lane is that you can actually just sap that EXP and go on that large camp as you pull it while doing AoE damage, and most importantly, in a safe manner. He's able to get those last hits. If he ever got dove on, he could just run immediately down to the low ground here into the river. So pretty easy for him. He's actually level 5 right now, which is super impressive. If we check out the EXP per minute, he is way up there, and that is their long lane. Compare this 350 EXP per minute for the Bat Rider to what Darkseer is working with, and that is 71. So this draft from Dignitas was just absolutely superb. The Bat Rider is able to get almost entire EXP with some free farm, and compare this to the Darkseer, who's literally just not even in the lane. Now he's getting some EXP, but maybe he should have started this at level 1, perhaps. Might have been a little bit better off for him, I think. So AY now up to 32 last hits, doing better than the Faceless Void. Illusion's going to take some damage to the Bat Rider Illusion, of course, but he is now level 5, and he has a bottle picked up as well, very close to Boots, and after that, probably going to go for Tranquil Boots. Fogged actually going to take a kill in the mid lane, actually. That was a level 5 Queen of Pain. Fogged just hitting level 6 Hannah, surging forward. One little very expensive courier going on here, and that's actually 2 levels of waiting for. Oh, he's going to use the ulti on Hannah Montana. Will he have enough for the orb? He's looking for the mana, but he's not going to get in. The salve popped by Darkseer is actually helping out quite a bit. He's going to do some right clicks, probably needs 3 or 4 to get the kill, and Hannah's going to walk out of this. Fogged might be in some trouble. There's the courier, does phase off 2 tower hits, and there's the send back from the Queen of Pain. Can Dark Falco get the kill? He's not going to be able to, so he saves his mana for sure, and Fogged is going to go all the way back to base. So nice little save from Way Too Sexy to show up at the right time, and he wanted to get that kill on Hannah, but unfortunately not able to do so. And that's going to burn his cooldown for about 85 seconds. That's a little bit of a loss, but regardless, he still killed Queen of Pain without it, so not the end of the world at all. He's got Bottle, he's got Wand, and Boots already picked up, so Fog doing very, very well in this matchup so far. Now AOI picks up some Power Treads. Power Treads Wand, still has the Stout Shield, not missing a lot of last hits, that's for sure, sitting very well. And keep in mind, the same time, Way Too Sexy's also been farming a lot. Now he hasn't actually had to gank yet, whereas the Enigma has, so he's going to have at least some EXP. No EXP advantage, but he does have more last hits than the Enigma, so he should be out farming him at least slightly here. And he's actually using Tornado to jungle a little bit, which is pretty cool. So possible push coming top, but Universe has predicted this, so he's going to start off the Firefly, which is going to result in the creep wave dying, and then the Eidolons won't be able to tank, so those are going to have to back off as well if he actually didn't pay attention and precursor that with the Firefly, we could have seen that tower get killed right there. So nice foresight from him. In the meantime, if we look at the gold graph, a huge gold advantage going to Dignitas. 1 kill with first blood is not going to match us up, and this is exactly what I was talking about. It's a lane advantage for Dignitas. They have the better lane on the safe lane. They have better EXP on the hard lane as well, and we're seeing Fogged get an EXP advantage over Dark Falco. He's putting some hits on him. Will he ulti this? We'll see. He's not going to. And Dark Falco is going to blink away last second. Looked a little hesitant and unsure what he should do there. But 300 HP. If Fogged comes off cooldowns here and he ultis, this is going to be a dead Queen of Pain. So he's got to be very careful right now. He's going to be looking to orbit. Will he go for it? He's thinking about it. I love his positioning right now. He knows that Dark Falco doesn't have a lot of HP, so he can just sit high ground and get these last hits in the meantime. So Dark Falco is going to have to play very, very safe here. Even the Wisp is actually sitting inside. All it's going to take is actually an orb through from the puck and then a tether and bring the spirits through to get the kill. And Tides is about to run out, so here it comes. He's going to spot things out. And that is going to be Dark Falco getting away. Takes 1 spirit, but not a big deal. Just waiting for his bottle to come back, and there it is. So bottle on the way back for Dark Falco here. Tide might be caught actually. Yep, Hannah's going to find him. Here's the blink forward, 1 right click, but no dagger on him. And Hannah actually does not have boots. There's the surge from Dark Falco. He's not going to go for it. Still have Tides and way too sexy in the jungle. It's going to be a fast arcane boots for Chen. That's going to help him afford mana for things like Test of Faith as well as his ulti. I'm not really sure who's going to be picking up the mech instead, unless it's going to be Bat Rider. I'd be really surprised if Bat Rider picked it up, but he'll probably do it after arcane boots would be my guess. Wisp almost level 6, really good advantage for him. This compares to the Shadow Demon's level 4. He looks like he is maxing out Shadow Poison first, which means more AoE damage in team fights. Pretty nice to actually have this maxed out. You can afford it without too much of mana regen. Arcane Boots makes you go a lot longer, at least with the amount of mana you can have for Shadow Poison, but even 2 levels or a full mana pool is good enough. Now, we haven't seen AUI go for any kills yet. Still 57 last hits, pretty solid item builds, early magic sticks so that he can afford more mana spells, and Helm of Iron Will means that he's most likely to go for an armlet. Once again, another kill on the mid lane, 1 ulti from Puck, and then an orb and a silence coming through. 4 levels of Waning Rift. He's actually maxing this out first for the purpose of course, silencing the Queen of Pain for up to 3 seconds. It's very, very good for that. Huge disable there. FNC now up to 40 last hits, still doing a pretty good job. No Quelling Blade either, so there's some pretty big base damage on the Faceless Void, but still is able to get these. And now that the stick has completely full, Universe might as well just keep casting it. Although we do have a gank coming with Enigma, he's going to have a black hole. This is going to be pretty dangerous for Universe if he spots this out. Here comes the TP actually at the same time. Here comes the gank. Chaos Knight's a little bit far back. Who will they be able to grab? There's the Chronosphere starting things off. FNC, they're going to go on Mojo Storm Stout. Great disruption. Actually, Universe is going to ulti this as the black hole will catch the rest of them. Great initiation. AUI is getting only to about half HP, and they get sent back. So in the meantime, Dignitas actually comes in for that one and picks up the Shadow Demon. Nice TP from him, but regardless, perfect timing there from the Dark Falco stack just as the gank from AUI as well as Tides came in. So only person that died was Universe and the Shadow Demon, which is actually a good trade for the Dark Falco stack. Losing an offlaner for a support hero like that is not bad. But Fogged is actually still farming quite well. So not the end of the world for Dignitas either. See how that affects things. Wow, EXP is such a radiant advantage here, and gold, despite that death, is still looking okay. 3k for them, so looking very good for Dignitas. Queen of Pain back in the mid lane is level 8, only a wand in a bottle. Definitely very underfarmed compared to the Puck. Puck's got a whole treads and a null talisman on top of that. Some damage on FNC. There's the silence. We'll be able to get the kill. There's the ulti. Needs 2 right clicks, and the flame break's actually going to do it. Great flame break from Universe. That was so cool. He knew that the Void was going to sit on the very confines of the ulti, so he put the flame break right next to it, so it forced him through to take the extra damage and stun. That was very, very smart from him. Such a cool little play. They're going on a gank on Dismech now. He's in a lot of trouble. Orb's going to hit. Easy kill there. And that's what Puck should be doing, is doing a lot of early ganks with all of those magic nukes. He's able to get the kill on the Shadow Demon. The creeps push in to take some tower damage. Well, they'll probably try to take this now. They did cut the creeps, and a little bit of heal in Universe. He's got his ulti up in 2 seconds. And this tower should give them a nice advantage. In the meantime, AOI still pressuring the bot tower as well, down to half HP, and Dark Falco's stack is going to be a little bit of trouble here. 3 Wildkins. I want to see those triple tornadoes if possible, and Puck gets last hit top. And that is going to be his Blink Dagger. 11-minute Blink Dagger. Here comes the teleport, and they're going to the mid lane. Dark Falco will just simply walk away from that one. I don't know if they actually had the intention of getting the kill there, but regardless, Puck is now immediately going to be on the mid tower for pushing there at his triple tornado. I want to see the damage this baby is going to do. Going to be going on the creep wave very, very soon here. And there it goes. Oh my gosh, that damage is insane. Triple tornadoes. Makes you wish they had a Leshrac stun or something like that. Just stun all of those guys. Dark Falco literally has to walk away because the tornadoes do too much damage. There's a blink silence. Vision on the tornadoes, not as good as it used to be. There's some damage on him. Do they have ulti? Man, he actually does not. He burned it all. Dark Falco's still getting killed. A great flame break from Universe. Throws him back and he does get caught. Hannah Montana's shifting over, but still doesn't have a whole lot of farm here. Just a level 5 on him. And Mojo Stormstout's going to be trying to push this, but he knows he can't really do a whole lot at the moment. He's level 8, only 3 levels of Malefice, and no Black Hole, so this is the best they can do at the moment. Eidolons are unable to get the last stand. They're afraid that there is going to be some roaming over, which is actually what's happening. Batrider's going to be looking for kills. Dismech with boots. They all have boots, so they will be able to at least escape the deaths. Oh, he does find a support. Great flame break. Once again, catches Dismech. Loyalty. He will actually. The sticky napalm buying him some time. And there's the test of faith. Gets the kill. Great play by Universe. Shadow Demon a little bit too close to the creep wave, but he did profit from that as soon as he did notice. Sending him back for the mana. And they are looking good. AUI as well as Tides farming top. The coolest part is they just have to stick together here. And what's going to happen is they'll teleport as soon as the team fight happens. FNC is actually looking for a fight. There's the silence goes in. Dark Falco in trouble. Will he break the tether? Again, he's going to go down just in time for the chrono to hit. Great flame break as well. Buys way too sexy a second. He's going to have to walk away from this. More right clicks, and there they teleport in. Shadow Demon almost killed. Tether lands as well. Great stun on Enigma. Enigma goes down. No damage from him, and the flame break is coming in. Hannah Montana's getting low. Does land. Hannah's going to die to burn damage, and FNC may go down as well. A small mistake from Tides of Time. Sending it back to Chaos Knight time, but actually, they knew they had that fight won. He probably just said, whatever, that fight is cleaned up. Chaos Knight can go back to farming immediately, and the rest of his allies are going to take the tower. But 5 dead heroes on the Dire team, 12-1 right now, and Dignitas is looking absolutely perfect versus the Dark Falco stack. I mean, the drafting here was just absolutely great. I think they did an awesome job. All the lane setups are just fantastic, and Dark Falco stack's having a really tough time matching up versus Dignitas here, so a little bit of poison damage flowing through once again, and the Queen of Pain's going to grab whatever CS she can, picks up the Belt of Giant Strength, but man, they are far behind in terms of core items. Puck even has an ultimate orb, like Dagger alone, another ultimate orb on top of that just puts you so far ahead. So Fogged is absolutely set for Faceless Void. By the time Faceless Void finishes his Battle Fury, Puck is going to have a sheep stick. That's what I'm expecting to see. FNC takes a 2-second stun. He's going to have to time walk out of this one. Armlet is doing some serious damage. Puts him so low. Great crit. He goes in. He gets him. Oh my gosh, just in time. Great Reality Rift, and Dark Falco now the one that's being chased. 2-second stun. AOI will get out of here pretty quick. And the tether as well. A little bit of regen. Another great nuke. And actually he goes back in. Tides wants to fight it. Flaming Lasso, Fogged comes in. There's the orb. Silence. Is it going to hit? Mojo's looking for the black hole. Oh, he's thinking about it, but he's just going to tether break, and now a couple right clicks from him. Hannah Montana dies once again. Flame break for once actually misused by Universe. And Go Next is called from Hannah. They don't want to play this game anymore. 16-1, and a very, very easy win for Dignitas here in the first game of the winter bracket finals. This is the best of 3. This will give Dignitas a 1-win advantage, but man, was that game one-sided. Every single lane was won by Dignitas. They won mid lane. Top lane was arguably won by Dignitas in the sense that Batrider got way more farm than he should in a long lane. But most importantly, he got a lot more experience in gold than the Darkseer did. And mid lane was definitely won by Fogged, so huge win there for Dignitas. If we take it the last look of the points, 13k gold advantage for the Radiant team. EXP is also massive, and that is going to be the end of game 1. So we'll be back in just a second, guys, with game 2 of the 3-game set. We'll see if the Dark Falco stack can do anything to stop Dignitas here. If they do end up taking a loss in the next round, that means they get put in the losers bracket, and they're going to have to play against Gratz, though. This tournament is the Dota2 Gamescom. Excuse me. Man, I always get that wrong. The Plantronics Gamecom Dota 2 tournament, I believe is what it is. I think so. Yes. The Gamecom Dota 2 event is what we're watching. So that's going to be the end of game 1. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll be back in just a second with game 2. Don't go anywhere.